So far, we've seen Chainlink's token, Link, L-I-N-K, soar 11,735%. How is that possible? Well, at least one of the big reasons is that Link, by market value, represents 70% of the crypto oracle market, which, as we very regularly discuss on this channel, is a crucial and vital part of the Web3 infrastructure space. But there's still that 30% of the oracle market that's comprised of competitors. And so we have to ask ourselves, are there any other oracle solutions out there that could give Chainlink a run for its money? Or for that matter, some projects that may be even better. What about 25 times cheaper? That is exactly what we're examining in today's video, because we'll be taking a close look at one of Chainlink's primary competitors, API 3. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest genuinely, whether that's into the oracle space or any other crypto sector. I wish you well. But I'm not a financial or investment advisor. You got to remember that. And by extension, please also remember that this video is not official financial or investment advice. Okay, so to best understand what API 3 does, it's going to be important to know what APIs do in general as a baseline. API is an acronym that stands for Application Programming Interface. What that means for you and for me is that two software programs can essentially talk directly with each other. Think about the automation programs that you know, maybe Zapier or Make. Like when you create a Zap to connect something from Google Sheets to MailChimp for newsletter, email addresses, something like that, or connecting Slack with Trello, that's something that I do. Companies do that because Slack is great for communication, and then Trello, on the other hand, is better for managing workflow. What exactly are those Zaps doing? Well, in a nutshell, the two programs are talking to each other. You add a name in a row in Google Sheets, and it automatically adds it to your MailChimp email list, for example. And that's possible because the two programs are communicating. They make those calls to talk to each other through APIs. So what does API have to do with blockchain and Web3? It's a good question, and oracles are the answer to that question. And as you probably know, the biggest and the most popular oracle by far in cryptocurrency is Chainlink. What does Chainlink do? Basically, it sends price feed data like for stocks or maybe for crypto projects. It sends those to the blockchain so a trading dApp has that information for its customers. It gives chains access to off-chain data. So using APIs, a tokenized trading dApp of US stocks like Soma Finance, they get their stock data from somewhere if they are bridging TradFi and DeFi. Okay, but API 3's decentralized data feeds work differently. They are much more direct than Chainlink's, and we're going to have more on that difference coming up in just a minute. But it's important to first understand that API 3 also uses random number generators. This is both for privacy as well as for security. And another bonus is that for the games that choose to use it, it makes them provably fair, or fair distribution of a collection of NFTs, or fair distribution of contest winners, all kinds of applications like that. And the version that API 3 uses is quantum random number generators. The quantum computing aspect makes them harder to break, a lot harder. That means it's safer for projects as well as for users. And that's included with every data feed from API 3 for all clients. Now, with Chainlink as the big dog in the Oracle space, we should also see how API 3 compares to other Oracle competitors. In other words, Oracle solutions that are themselves competitors to Chainlink. Let's start with UMA, UMA, which is an optimistic oracle. Its specialty is synthetic and financial assets. So it's great for those, but not quite as good for general use outside of finance. Plus, it is Ethereum and EVM only. We also have Ban Protocol, which is built on Cosmos, which is something that we like. That's a bonus right out of the gate. They use a blend of API and other data sources. So the data could be direct, or it also could be third party. That means as a result, the data might not be direct from a source like API 3. Again, if that's not quite clear just yet, I'll be talking about the importance of that differential in just a moment. We also have Pyth Network, which is an excellent oracle. It has many direct, not third-party sources of data. In fact, it's really good all around. But what does it have that API 3 doesn't? Bad tokenomics, actually, because only 1/3 of all tokens are circulating. That's about 36% actually, to be exact. And honestly, we do see this a lot. A project that we really like, a project with customers, a project with great positioning in the market, but we can't recommend it or buy it due to lackluster tokenomics. Pyth oracles themselves are excellent, but with the Pyth token, PYTH, you can do better, and that's including API 3. We love oracles, especially as part of the larger infrastructure sector, but we still have to be selective in terms of what we buy. Let me know if you hold any oracles or other Web3 infrastructure in your crypto portfolio. I mentioned a couple of the competitors to Chainlink, but if there's some others that you're a fan of that you hold, let me know in the comments below.
And so if this market pulls back hard under this level and then consolidates and comes back, we're likely to sell and stall.
I'd like to talk now about those differences between API 3 and Chainlink, because we know that Chainlink is the leader here in the space by a long shot. That is not something that we're disputing. They use a third-party oracle system. Chainlink's nodes connect to many different providers to get a consensus on a given piece of data. And that's different versus how API 3 does it. Let's go back to Soma Finance for tokenized US stocks for a moment as our example. Chainlink will get prices for Apple stock from many places, so Google Finance, Yahoo Finance, MarketWatch, TradingView, Bloomberg Terminal. These are all resources that are going to be used. But is it better to get Apple's price from them or directly from the NASDAQ where it trades? That's the difference between third-party and direct sourcing. Again, Chainlink uses third-party, API 3 goes direct. Chainlink uses this consensus model for price feeds because they don't use APIs. So they cannot go directly to NASDAQ even if they wanted to, but API 3 has that freedom and flexibility, and they do. This makes API 3 more direct and more decentralized at the end of the day than Chainlink, because your dApp can directly communicate the NASDAQ in a completely permissionless way. And look, I'm going to say it again that we like Chainlink. I personally like this project a lot. I'm a big fan of Link, and that's not going to change. But oracles are going to continue to grow quickly from their current $14.5 billion market cap as a sector. And of that 14.5, now $14.6 billion, $10.2 billion belongs to Chainlink. In contrast, API 3 only has a market cap of $401 million. That means Chainlink is about 25 times larger. And Link trades more daily volume at $420 million than the entire API 3 market value. Think about that in terms of an opportunity. That's certainly an appealing combination of statistics, if you ask me. Ultimately, both of these projects have a ton of room to grow from here, but you'd get a 25x on API 3 just to get to where Chainlink is today in terms of market value. And so the risk-return ratio here is much more explosive and potentially a lot more exciting in favor of API 3. Again, Chainlink is great, API 3 is great, both will grow, but API 3 has the potential to grow much, much faster from where we currently stand. Check out the link in the description of this video and you can browse everything that API 3 has to offer on their website today. I will include that link in the description of this video below.